What is your pro comp for Justin Fields?
This is where I have prime Colin Kaepernick, the Super Bowl run. I think Justin Fields has a lot of running potential. And then I also have taller Kyler Murray, because I think Justin Fields, the way he can throw on the run and just throw on a snap, like Kyler Murray throws like a shortstop every time he's out of the pocket. I think Justin Fields can do that. And in Shanahan's system, where he'll be throwing those drag routes that he's familiar with in Ohio State, I think that will help him to start off. And I think he can get to that first year starting Colin Kaepernick, taller Kyler Murray role. And I know a lot of people think Cam Newton, but I think Cam Newton is more of a tight end body quarterback like Trey Lance is.
Yep.
And I think Justin Fields is more Kaepernick, Kyler Murray, in my opinion. Taller than Kyler Murray, but.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, I was just saying.
Bad, I cut you off.
I'm done.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree with Mav. I think that Justin Fields is way more accurate than both of the quarterbacks that he mentioned, and so I think that's a big difference. I would say probably floor would be Dak Prescott, and if Justin Fields could fix his just like pocket awareness, meaning like just run the minute that there's any type of like pressure in there, I think that his ceiling is going to be Deshaun Watson. Like, I think he's really accurate. He's obviously has the size to play quarterback. He's a freak athlete, but he just needs to fix his feet in the pocket. And if he does that, I think, we're looking at another Deshaun Watson, who was, a spread offense type quarterback coming out of Clemson, but was developed, well under Bill O'Brien and turned into, that all around quarterback that, obviously any team would be looking for.
Yeah, those are all great comparisons. And I kind of like where Maverick was going out with the Colin Kaepernick, the taller Kyler Murray. I think he's physically tougher. To the player that I'm going to draw this comparison to again, Daunte Culpepper. And if you look at the numbers that he put up, Justin Fields is a little smaller than Daunte Culpepper. He had that tight end body that Maverick was talking about, the 6'4", 250, 260. Justin Fields is a little bit smaller. But looking at Culpepper and what he did when he was playing at the highest level, and just the numbers that he put up and how physical he was running the football, he wasn't able to stay healthy. Durability wasn't necessarily Culpepper's strong suit. He only played 3 seasons with the Vikings with 16 starts, but when he was able to accumulate 16 start seasons, he was putting up massive numbers. So I like that comparison for Fields, kind of a combination of Culpepper's running ability. And when you look at Kaepernick and Kyler Murray, these are not physical guys that are going to try to run you over. Like we've seen players like Trevor Lawrence do in college, Justin Fields did in college. They're just not going to run out of bounds. Like, they want that contact. They're physical. And that's how Culpepper was. I'm just going back and looking at some highlights of him today. So I see a lot of different players molded into Justin Fields that you can draw comparisons from. I like the Deshaun Watson. I think Justin Fields is going to be a tremendous quarterback. I really, really do.
Going back to Trey Lance real quick, people compare him to Josh Allen. I see the comparison as runners. Like, Josh Allen runs people over. That's what I like about him. I mean, you don't have to worry about Josh Allen scrambling, because you got to worry about the person who's tackling him. He's that big. The thing about comparing anyone to Josh Allen is Josh Allen has the strongest arm I've ever seen. So that's kind of a tough comparison. I don't really see that from Trey Lance, although he does have a very strong arm. Back to Justin Fields. Justin Fields isn't as big as Trey Lance. Justin Fields isn't as big as Josh Allen. I don't know that he's going to be running people over in the NFL, although he is built. I mean, he's a good, thick athlete. I hate to be negative here. And this guy I'm going to compare him to had a great career until he got hurt, which was quick. RG3 was about 6'3", about 222, ran so fast, ran more than Justin Fields did in college. I think if Justin Fields is going to succeed, he's going to have to play a lot like how RG3 played. And that's how Colin Kaepernick played. But Colin Kaepernick was 6'4", 235 at his best. Fields a little smaller, and he's a little faster. I think he's got that 4.4 speed that RG3 had. RG3 was really good. His knee gave out. It was kind of a freak injury, and he was never the same. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Justin Fields. Maitland Eagle is saying Lance equals Steve McNair. Perhaps. Steve McNair was kind of an interesting player. He played at an historically black college, right?
Oh, I don't know about college yet.
He did. He played at a very small school, hell of a player, first-round pick. Anyway, RG3.
I think he's a lot more mobile than McNair was. But McNair had a great career. That would be a solid quarterback if you got him. But I all this Justin Fields, like all you guys focused on was his running ability, and I think that once again that's like slander against Justin Fields.
Hold on.
He is a really accurate
RG3,
passer.
his senior year at Baylor, completed 72% of his throws, averaged 10.7 yards per attempt through 37 touchdown passes, and won the Heisman. I mean, it's not really like a slap in the face to compare to RG3.
True, but what I'm saying is like I think when people when people talk about Fields, they talk more about his mobility, like he's going to be a run first quarterback. But I think he wants to be a pass first quarterback. He's super accurate. Like when people talk about his accuracy, it wasn't just 1 year. Both years he was a starter, he was near the 70% accuracy rate, and he was throwing for a good amount of touchdowns and stuff like that as well. So obviously it's Ohio State, but still, I think we should give him more credit as a pass first option than just a guy that's going to be running around everywhere.
So I'll add on that. I think a reason why a lot of people, myself included, really emphasize the mobility of Justin Fields is because of all the Mac Jones smokescreen. And you have to bring it up as to why Justin Fields makes more sense is because he has so much more to offer opposed to Mac Jones that people do emphasize quite a bit his ability to make plays outside the pocket on the run and be that running quarterback that can pick up a lot of yards. But I definitely agree. He's a solid passer within the pocket as well.
He is a solid passer in the pocket. I just think for him to have the most success possible and reach his full potential, he's going to have to run more than he did at Ohio State. Because it's something he does so well. He runs a 4.4. You got to bring that out. You can't just try to be Peyton Manning. It's not who you are.
The one thing with the throwing is that's what I was touching on with Kyler Murray is his ability to just throw on the run and do those cross-body throws that Kaepernick also did in his career, that cross-field throw to Frank Gore. And I think Justin Fields throwing to Chris Olave so many times last year showed that he can do that. And that's my favorite trait in Justin Fields is being able to throw cross-body runs, use those legs and throw. And that's what I like about him. And that's at least where I got my Kaepernick and taller Kyler Murray comparison.